Indonesia of the 1980s, an economy tied up to its farmlands, a time when 7 out of 10 Indonesians were struggling with malnutrition. Only 3 in 10 had access to satisfactory nutrition, and the rest, they were barely scraping by. This was a time when the Indonesian economic pulse was weak and the gross domestic product was among the lowest in Southeast Asia. Yet within this struggle, the country suddenly began to transform and grow. And guess where it is today? You would hardly recognize the Indonesia of the 1980s. Today, it stands as a rising economic titan, the largest economy in Southeast Asia and the 16th largest worldwide. The GDP, which once was below average, now surpasses the $1 trillion mark. But how did this almost magical transformation come about? How did Indonesia turn the tides of malnutrition, poverty, and economic stagnation? Join us in this video to find out. Chapter 1: From Commodities to Diversification. At the heart of Indonesia's shift was a move from a dependence on commodities like oil, gas, and coal towards more diverse income sources. Their government had realized that commodities could be a risky business due to their fluctuating prices, and so they decided it was time to play a different game. First of all, they turned their head toward the manufacturing sector. And get this, Indonesia did not just open the door to manufacturing, it flung it wide open. From automobiles to electronics to chemicals, Indonesia was eager to get its hands dirty. It laid out the red carpet for international firms, offering attractive incentives to set up shop on its shores. This was a strategic move indeed. For example, by 2011, Toyota had announced a $337 million investment to develop electric vehicles in Indonesia and set up a new factory. Chapter 2: Tourism and eCommerce. With its captivating natural beauty and rich cultural heritage, tourism was a no-brainer. The government initiated campaigns like Wonderful Indonesia, which boosted tourist arrivals from 7 million in 2010 to over 18 million by 2019, clearly reflecting the success of this focus. On the digital front, the rise of e-commerce has been impressive. Indonesia had the highest internet economy in Southeast Asia. By 2022, the e-commerce sector had hit $77 billion. This is a hopping 22% increase from the previous year, 2021. So in short, Indonesia's strategy has been one of diversification, moving from commodities to manufacturing and services. They have played their cards right, making the most of their resources and opportunities to fundamentally reshape their economy. But wait, there were other tricks too that helped their economic growth. Chapter 3: The Power of Decentralization. First off, their famous decentralization policies of 2000. These policies were about giving more power and responsibilities to the local governments across the country's vast archipelago. Before this policy, the central government in Jakarta held most of the power. But the decentralization policy changed all that. Suddenly, local governments were responsible for providing many public services, like health and education. They were also in charge of managing their natural resources and carrying out development projects. It was a big responsibility, but it also meant that they could make decisions based on what was best for their local area, not just what was best for Jakarta. And here is the fun part. This policy shift is one of the reasons Indonesia has been able to grow and diversify its economy so effectively over the past 2 decades. By empowering local governments, they unleash the potential of each region to contribute to the national economy. Chapter 4: Reforms introduced by Jokowi. Jokowi, Indonesia's dynamic leader, totally transformed the country. He boosted the economy by focusing on key areas like communication, transportation, and construction, smashing through old rules and making it easier for businesses to grow. He also cared about the people, introducing programs to fight poverty and supporting education and healthcare. He even created 2 special cards, Kartu Indonesian Sehat, an Indonesian health card that provides basic healthcare services at low prices, and the Kartu Indonesian Pintar, an Indonesia Education Smart Card which provides subsidies and benefits to students from low-income families. Plus, he made smart policies that attracted foreign investors while protecting local industries. These policies aim to boost the economy and empower Indonesians by maximizing the benefits from their own resources. Chapter 5: Smaller Tricks. And of course, how can we forget infrastructure? Indonesia decided to give the country a facelift, investing billions in projects like highways, airports, and ports, making life easier for people and businesses. Meanwhile, Indonesia decided to strengthen ties with its neighbors, playing a significant role in the ASEAN or Association of Southeast Asian Nations. This included leading the establishment of the ASEAN Economic Community in 2015. This move made Indonesia more attractive to foreign investors and gave it a stronger voice in the global scene. In other words, Indonesia left no stone unturned, whether it was introducing smart policies, strengthening international relations, building state-of-the-art infrastructure, or boosting regional economies. It is a story of transformation that deserves to be told and celebrated. Now that you know what clever strategies helped Indonesia transform its economy, it is time you tell us about your opinion in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.